Okay, I just wanted to show the Galaxy Book 10.6 inch. This is Maya. I have Maya on this little computer with only 64 gigs, 4 gigs of RAM. Okay, so if I draw on this Galaxy Book, I keep the case on, and this is how I draw. I put it on my lap. I actually rest my hand here. I don't really touch the keys, and then I can just draw, anything I want. And it's so easy to draw on this. So the lines on here, drawing on here is just so effortless. Just perfect. The way the rubber, the way the stylus is made, the Wacom technology. The lines are just flow. I can do some sketching, I can do shading. Just really a really good feel on this tablet. This is just excellent for drawing things, for making designs, painting, everything. This is the best. The Samsung S Pen Wacom technology is the best and one of the oldest. Alright, so on this laptop, the 10.6 inch Samsung Book, that I'm going to be doing Sketchbook and Premiere and Maya on this little 10.6 inch. Okay, so I'm drawing on this tablet. Let me get a good color using the pen, and let's just do a sketch here. Alright, let's see. Now the nice thing about this pen is I like the way the rubber hits the glass. It feels good. The pen is light. I can draw like I'm drawing with a pencil on paper. Not really, but it's a good experience. It feels really good, and it's the best. It's the best out there. The Wacom is good, and this is Wacom. And right now I'm drawing on this. Let's just change this up. So get some kind of shape. Okay, so there. It's pretty simple. I can fix this up, clear it up as much as I want. Come in there. Let's see here. Put it like this. Okay, so I did this thing here already. So let's open that up. Alright, so now what's cool, I did these drawings here, and let's go and open them up in Maya so I can model this that I've done. I was quite impressed that I was able to put Maya on this machine. This is Maya 2010. And let's look at these drawings. So here's the drawing I did. And then I did another drawing of the top. And then here's the model that I made. And the way you do it is I started with a cube, a polygon, and then I just divided it, and you pull out the faces and you move the vertices. So you can pull out the face like this. You can grab vertices, pull it out and shape it to what you want. So that's how I did that. And then, let's see, you can smooth this, which was gonna divide it again, divide it up, polygons. Well, this is how the final would probably be when I get through. That's the kind of smoothing level I would go to. I don't go any higher than that, just once is enough. And then I can texture it. Now I'm just doing some low detail modeling with more, the texture is going to be it, what really shows it. But it's working fine on this computer that I'm able to use Maya and do modeling of ships. I have several other ships. So I'm just going to do some more modeling here. And give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see these kind of videos of reviews of computers for artists. And I'm going to do some modeling and artwork, and check out my music videos. So I'm going to go ahead and start modeling on this. I've got this this chair here, and I want to apply some textures on it. So what I do is I'm going to do some UV mapping. So I'm going to go up here to create UVs, automatic mapping. First you have to select the object, which I did. And automatic mapping gives me choices. 6 planes, that's right, and then project it, and there it is. And then what you do now is you go into your UV editor, edit UVs, UV texture editor, and these are the UVs that were created. It took a map, pictures of on 6 sides of it, and put it out here. Now, up in the UV texture editor, over here you want to select UVs, and then you want to go over here and select this button, which toggles between the edges. So these are the edges that it's been cut up. Now I don't like this over here, so I want to make it like 2-sided. The back side will be like plastic, and the front side will be like vinyl. And then I can put some kind of pattern or whatever and give it more detail, because I'm just doing low poly models. So what I'm going to do now here is go to it and select edges. And I'm going to come in here and select these edges. Hold shift and click on these edges. Now when I get that menu, for example, like this, I right click and then I get the menu. Okay, so I've got the edges selected here. Now I'm going to go over to my UV texture editor. And up here is this says here, separate UVs along the selected edge. So I'm going to click that. Now what it did is it separated it. Now what I want to do now is I want to close all these other edges. So let's do that. Click away. Select edge. I believe this is how you do it. Let's find out. Okay, looks like I got them all. Press Alt so you can spin it around. Alright. Now I'm going to go up here, and here it says sew the selected edges to the UV or UVs together. So I'm going to hit that. Okay, so now it pulled it here together. Okay, so now I select here, move UV shell tool. The reason I'm going to do this is so I can select select this. I want to move this out over here. The reason why is I want to be able to select the whole thing. I want to get all the UVs together. And then what I'm going to do is unfold it. Right here where it says unfold selected UVs. There. So now it's spaced them all out evenly. That's what I needed to do. So now I can turn it around. Line this up. Now the reason I'm doing this is because then what I'm going to do is take a picture of this and take it into any kind of drawing program and put a texture on there. So I'm going to continue with this and do this whole just the way I did it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to arrange all these UVs like this, like, you know, space them all in here into this square, and then take it into Sketchbook, where I'm going to go ahead and add some color to it. Okay, so now I've split up the UVs to the way I want it on this chair. I have a front and a back. You can see the lines here. There it is. So this is the back, this is the bottom, and this is the front and the sides. Now what I do now is I go in here, I go to Polygon, UV Snapshot. I'm going to make the size higher. Let's make it 512. And then down here it says 1 UV max 1. So what that means is on the x-axis here, 0 to positive 1, and the y-axis 0 to positive 1. So that's correct. I want to get this quadrant, or else it would be different numbers. So I'm going to hit OK. Before I do that, let me see where it's going to go to. Top chair. Make it a PNG. Okay, you have to have it selected as an object. The name of it, 512, 1:1, PNG. Okay, that's done. Okay, so I opened up the PNG file in Sketchbook, or you can use whatever drawing program that you're comfortable with. So that's why it's important how you separate your UVs and map it and take a picture of it, so that you can work with it easily in whatever drawing program. And all those UV lines are, you know, landmarks of how you can draw what you want to draw. So I'm going to do a little trickery here, just to get the job done. And let's see here. Made a different layer. This should be white. Okay. And then about here. There. That should be enough. So I'm just going to keep on working on this, and then we'll get to the finished project. So after I've got that seat, after I did the picture, I put it on here, and this is the picture that I put on this object here of a seat. Now these lines, I can do something about that. I can bump map it, and then they'll appear to look like they're impressed in there. It'll add it'll give you the illusion of more geometry is what it is. So it's the bump map will push in the black, so will actually be like lines here that aren't really there in the geometry. And that's what bump mapping is for. It's kind of a little trickery that you use to save memory, to save polygon count, You use a bump map to add extra detail. So let's show you how I did put that on there. So here's the bottom chair, right? What you do is you select the bottom, I right click, and I go down here to assign new material, blend right here. Okay, now it comes up here, a new blend. And then here it says color. What I'm going to do is hit this, which is a connection, click on it, and then I'm going to choose file, which means I'm adding a file to that color connection. Now it brings me over here, and see how it's black because white because that's the blend. Blend is just a type of material. Then I'm going to click this folder right here, and when I click that, now I'm going to put in the picture. Now I go in here. Okay, bottom chair 3, ping. Now once I click that and open it, there it is. See? Now I got the chair on here. So that's how, and if you look over here, that's the drawing that I made in Sketchbook. And I brought it in here. So you can see that's the chair now. And then I can add a bump map, like I said, and there's a chair. Now, just to let you know, this is a chair in a flying vehicle. It's not going to be seen much because someone's going to be sitting on it. So that's where I don't want to be big detail. I don't want a big polygon count because someone's going to be right sitting on top of it. And there might be one that's empty, but the camera's, it's not going to be close to the chair. The camera's going to be out far away. You know, it's not a close shot. So when it's a close shot, you want to put in a lot of detail. When it's a far away shot, you put in less detail. So I just wanted to show proof that yes, I am using Maya on this little computer. You can see it's working fine. You know, all the functions are there. Put on this. Let's go back to the main. There's the drawing I did. There's the ship. That's the ship I made on this little computer. So I just wanted to show you, and this is, like I said, remember in my other video I said, this is how you use 3D software. You have your mouse here and you go left, middle, right, and you use the keys over here. For example, if I select this here, right, then I go 1, 2, 3. See, it smoothed it. Okay, there. 4 is going to give me wireframe. So this is what we use the keyboard for. I'm not going to write a book. Like if you saw my other video about the Asus, you know, when you're doing 3D software, this is what you use a keyboard for, and you use a mouse. So now I'm looking at it in wireframe. If you can see that, this is how we look at the vertices. See, now I got all the dots here. I can still move it around, and that's kind of hard to do on a computer. You think about it, all those little dots, you know, showing all those lines. But this computer, with its processor and RAM, can handle this kind of, and to me this is a lot more complex than anything Premiere or Photoshop or can do, because this is, to me, the tops. And it actually is, you know, 3D software is the most complex software that there is. It doesn't get more complex because it's three-dimensional. And you're looking at a three-dimensional object in space, you're turning it around, you're putting textures. That is miles ahead of what you do in Premiere or Photoshop, even After Effects. After Effects is pretty good. It's getting closer. It has some 3D functions nowadays, I've seen, to make a picture look. but nothing like Maya or 3D Studio, Unreal Engine, DAZ Studio. I mean, these are the top 3D software out there. That's the most complex software for a computer to do. And just to show you, this is the Samsung book that I bought so many years ago, and I'm using Maya on it. Because once there was a reviewer who said, well, you can do some light Photoshop. A reviewer said you can do light Photoshop. Well, I'm doing Maya. You know, they said light Photoshop. Now I know if you put a lot of different things on Photoshop and just inundate it with so many different tasks, or in Premiere, yes, it will slow down your computer. But Maya to me is just way more complex. Anyway, so just wanted to prove it to you. So let's put this back in object mode. Let's put this back in. There we are. So there's my object. Okay, so here's a little recap of what I did on this 10.6 Galaxy Book. So here's the model that I made in Maya on this PC. And let's look at the drawings that I started with, that I drew on this book. Okay, so those are the drawings that I drew using the stylus on this PC. Then I brought it into Maya and I modeled it. And now what I've done is I've put some textures on it. So let's look at those. So I put textures on them. So here's the model with the textures. Now, this is what it looks like in Maya. And at this resolution, the way that the engine is interpreting the picture, the blends, the kind of texture that's on there. So there's a lot of shadowing going on. But anyway, you can see the ship. I mean, it's a big difference what you can do. That's why this is a low poly model, but it's going to look great or good enough with all the textures and a bump map that I can do. Now I'm going to take this into another program and to animate it, or just move it around, fly it, but to make a video. But I'm going to take it into View, and in View it's just going to look fantastic. It just renders really great. So that's what I'm going to do now. But let's just take a look at the UV maps that I made, and you should like and subscribe to my channel so I can do and see more of these kind of videos, reviews of PCs and of modeling and other art related things. So let's look at the UV for this. So that's the UV for the body that I did on this PC in Sketchbook. All these UVs, these textures were drawn in on this computer using the stylus. Okay, so that's the body. Those are the fins. And then here's the windshield. So, you know, using a stylus on this book is just so easy and fast to draw with. And it just comes out so great. Now, when I take this into View, it's going to look fabulous. So another point I wanted to make was just look how great, with the limited graphics ability of this book, it's got an integrated graphics, Intel integrated, and it does a pretty good job. I'm showing you how you can look inside the ship and see the interior. I mean, that's just great, being able to do 3D on here. So this is as far as I'm taking it on the book. This is what I would do. From here now, I'm going to take it into another program called Vue d'Esprit. It's now called Eon Vue. And I'm going to put different textures on it and look at the final project, which is going to be on a different computer, more higher powered computer, because I didn't put Vue on this computer. I don't know how it would handle it. I think it would, but I think it would be slow. So anyway, let's see. This is what I've done with this computer. Now I'm going to move it to the other so we can look at the final object, the final ship. Okay, now I'm in Eon Vue. On my other computer, an HP Spectre. I'm going to do a review of this computer and a review of this program later. But when I bring in the ship, I brought it in as an FBX, and I exported it from Maya as FBX. And I'll do a review on how to export and bring it into Vue. But I wanted to show you the final project. So this is what it looks like right here as it comes in with the textures that were in Maya. So I'm gonna just go through and show you what happens. This is what it looks like when you bring it in. Here's another angle. Now I've added a texture, but I haven't put the map yet on it. Here I've got the textures on it. What I drew. Now I've laid a bump map on there. Another angle with the bump map. This is pretty much what the finished one will look like. I might do some more lines in here on my drawing, and then I would have to go back onto the other computer to do all that, because that computer, the Galaxy Book, is just a better drawing computer. Just much quicker to draw with the S Pen stylus. I won't even try to draw with this computer, even though the HP comes with a pen. It's nowhere as good of a feel as the book, because the pen slides on the glass. It's just not the right combo. So it's not as accurate. It takes a lot of time. It's not as good. But here's the ship here. And the bump map, this is good enough, because, it's not going to be a really close-up scene. You're going to see the ship fly by. If it's a close-up scene, I would maybe do a higher resolution. Different things you can do. You can see that in my other videos, all those tricks and ways of doing things. And here's a top view of the ship. So I think it came out great. If you just think of my drawing, that drawing I had, and then the very, very just rudimentary drawing, and then the model was just so low poly, but yet look at the result. The result looks great. And that's the magic of Maya and the magic of Vue to get this kind of a finished project. So let me show you the model here. This is Vue, which is just an awesome program. Oops. Here's the model. So this is what it looks like now. Vue. It's pretty awesome. And then I can render this out in a video and make a movie of it. Now, if I was going to have people inside here, I would use another program to animate the people, and that will be in my further video. So please like and subscribe to my channel so you can get more content like this. And that's it for this lesson and this review. Thanks a lot.